If you want to completely change your life, you have to change your identity first. And I think that's where a lot of people get manifestation completely wrong. People try to manifest more money while they're still identifying with this broke mindset. They try to manifest confidence while still identifying as insecure. They try to manifest success while still identifying as somebody who never finishes anything or leaves a bunch of unfinished ventures in their wake. And some people even try to manifest a better life while emotionally staying connected to the old version of themselves. Your identity controls your behavior more than motivation ever will. If you're new here, my name is Erin. I'm a manifestation coach, and I make videos about manifestation and all things law of attraction. So if you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. One of the biggest things that I've learned is that your subconscious mind always wants to stay loyal to the identity you currently believe you are. That means if deep down you're identifying as somebody who's overwhelmed, somebody who's unsuccessful, lazy, rejected, or you feel like you're incapable, your brain is going to subconsciously continue creating behaviors to enforce that identity. And this isn't because you're broken, it's not because you're cursed, but it's because your brain loves what is familiar, because it's a survival mechanism that's kind of encoded in our brain. Because we are on a cellular level programmed to survive versus succeed. And this is why people can know exactly what they want and what they should do and still not do it. Because information doesn't automatically change identity, but repetition does. Your behavior does. Your emotional conditioning changes it. Daily habits change it. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So if somebody wants to become successful or like financially successful, but every day they're staying and keep saying like, I'm terrible with money, or I'm never going to get ahead, I'm always struggling, their subconscious mind is really seeing that struggle as a part of their personality. And then their actions unconsciously reflect that identity. And this is why identity work is so important. Because once your identity changes, your behaviors change and you start changing too. A person who's gonna identify as like healthy is gonna make different decisions automatically. A person who identifies as disciplined behaves differently. A person who's gonna identify as somebody successful, they're gonna think differently. And a person who's identifying as confident, they're gonna carry themselves differently. And honestly, this is why affirmations alone sometimes don't work for people. And I'm not shading affirmations. I love them. I just think sometimes there's other methods that are better. Because if your subconscious mind has years of emotional programming attached to that old identity, your brain's going to keep pulling you back towards what is familiar. Because remember, we're programmed for survival and not success. And that's why real transformation takes repetition. You have to constantly and repeatedly expose your brain to a new self-concept. You have to really start making decisions from the version of you that you're really trying to become. And you really have to stop identifying and reinforcing this old identity constantly through your words and your habits and your emotional reactions and your behaviors. And no, love, this does not happen overnight. But what happens is, little by little, your brain starts collecting this evidence. We are becoming somebody different now. And that's when your habits start to change. Your standards start changing, your confidence starts to change, and your reality changes. Because your life's always going to mirror the identity that you constantly operate from. And a lot of people call that the mirror principle, I believe. If this kind of content interests you, be sure to subscribe, because I talk about things all manifestation and personal transformation. Also, feel free to check the link in my bio for a free manifestation PDF where I kind of go deeper into this. So basically, you have to embody your new identity and live like that so that your brain can start to pick up on all of that and change for you. And all of that starts with a choice. There's this book that's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read it, I strongly recommend you go read it. It's an incredible book. Basically in it, there gets to a part where Carnegie, who is this extremely rich man, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about him before, But he commissions Napoleon Hill to go out and interview all of these really powerful, successful people so that he can identify what the secret is and why all of these people have become successful. And he said at one point, he stopped him and he said, after a couple of days of hanging out with him, he said, I would like to give you this opportunity. And he proposed the opportunity of him going and spending basically his life going around and doing this. And Napoleon thought about it for a little bit, not very long, a couple minutes, and then he said yes. And Carnegie said, if you would have thought about this a little longer, I would have rescinded the invitation and offer. Because successful people make a decision immediately after they have all of the facts. They take just a little bit of time to think about it, and then they make the decision and they stick to it. So what you need to do is gather all the facts, look at the situation, make a decision, and stick to it. That's a habit of a successful person. So I want you to sit down with a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to write out everything that you feel like you want to be as a person. Do you want to be punctual and get to things on time? Do you want to present yourself a certain way? How fast do you want to walk? Do you want to rush through life? Do you want to take your time? Are you the type of person that reads books or sews? How good are you with your money? Build an identity for yourself, rooted in exactly what you want. I also strongly recommend that you look into learning what your core values are before you do this. It's just a simple process, and then once you find out what your core value is, you can create your identity even better, because you want to make sure it aligns with how you value, like your core values. And then once you have that piece of paper down, I want you to become that person. Embody it. If you're a person who makes $1 million a year and that's your new identity, what does somebody who makes $1 million do? What time do they go to bed? When do they wake up? What kind of foods do they eat? How do they present themselves? If you're somebody who you want to run your own business and become successful that way, what does somebody who owns their own business do? How do they react? How do they handle themselves? How do they carry themselves? And then I want you to take some time and I want you to embody this and continue to embody it until it happens for you, because that's about the law of attraction. What you put out comes back. Energy goes where awareness flows. Keep a high vibration so you attract high vibrational things to you. And then you create your reality. This also doesn't mean if you want to be a millionaire, you're going out and being big baller and spending money like a millionaire. Don't go out and go crazy like that. Embody the mannerisms and see how things come along from there. You can do absolutely anything that you wish in this life. You can have whatever you want in this life. You just have to heal yourself and identify with an identity that you want. Let that gain some momentum and allow the things to attract to you. And be very specific. Anyways, I hope you have a blessed day and that you enjoyed this video. And if you do like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe and follow for more.